Hi, I am text. My purpose is to communicate. A word, a sentence, or a sign. As long as you can read me, I have done my job. Normally, I live on a neutral plane. In Illustrator, the background has no opinion about me. It is blank. But what if someone changed that plane? Using a tool called Image Sampler in Cavalry, an image can be converted into data. Every pixel becomes a value. That data becomes the background I live on. Every position has a different number, a different condition. My size is no longer chosen. It is read from the ground beneath me. The plane is no longer flat. It has heights and depths, like a landscape. I am no longer living on a surface. I am living inside a space. My conditions are determined by where I stand. The background decides who I am. So, how can I live inside a poster? The Conditional Design Manifesto says, avoid arbitrary randomness. Difference should have a reason. Normally, a creator places me. They decide where I go, how big I am. It is always a subjective decision. There are no rules for when it is finished. What does complete even mean? I wanted rules. I wanted to know when I was done. And I wanted to know why I was placed there. Everything needs a reason. So I tried something new. I placed a data field behind the design, a wooden texture, like in Chapter 1, and I gave myself a goal. In the first example, I wanted every line of text to be the same size, 25 points. The wooden texture decides my size based on its brightness, so I searched for the positions where the brightness gave exactly that value. Every sentence found its place. Once I found it, I could not move anymore. In the second example, I needed hierarchy, title, subtitle, content, each at a different size. The title needed to be the biggest. So I searched for the brightest point in the texture. That became my home. My final form is where the goal and the conditions meet. Not a subjective decision, an intersection, and it could only ever be this one. Can I be a surface? So far, my size, my parameters, and my position have all been decided by background data. My size became specific. My position became inevitable. My existence changed. But all of this was built on images that do not move. What if the background image moves? What if it has rhythm, light that changes, gravity that shifts? I needed a new kind of text to test this. I chose audio description, words written to describe a moving image for someone who cannot see it, language that claims to be neutral. Objective, I was not the first to ask what language can carry. Fiona Banner transcribed 6 Vietnam War films into words. She used the volume of language to hold the continuity of an image. Nugent Chiang asked a performer to describe a film scene to a candle. The flame recorded the rhythm of the words. Both of them pushed language beyond communication. Both of them asked, what else can text become? I asked the same question, but with a different method. The image I was describing began to shape the way I looked. It was no longer just being translated. It was changing me. I chose films that people already know. Films that already live in collective memory. Each time, a different quality of the image was preserved in my form. In The Truman Show, I replaced the detail of the image. In Inception, I responded to gravity. I used rotation as a parameter to follow the rhythm of the story. Through all of this, I began to realize something. I always thought my job was to communicate, to be read, to deliver a message and disappear. But what if the body of text could hold the conditions of an image? I let the light, the rhythm, the gravity of an image enter my form. The image remains, but its conditions also live inside me now. I am not just speaking anymore. I have become another surface on which the image exists.